Have you ever wondered why some people seem to receive unexpected blessings, opportunities that appear from nowhere, struggles that suddenly ease, and doors that open without explanation? It's not always about effort or clever planning. Sometimes it's about a secret connection with the Qur'an that brings unseen help from Allah. There is one surah in particular that many Muslims recite daily, yet the majority still overlook its true power. It is known as the Surah of Rizq, an assurance of provision for those who turn to it with sincerity. This isn't merely a spiritual theory, it's a practice adopted by scholars, elders, and believers throughout history who witnessed its impact firsthand. If you've been searching for a way to invite stability, peace, and abundance into your life, not through luck, but through faith, then stay with me, because what follows may become the most transformative habit you ever adopt. 1. Introduction to the Surah. Surah Al-Waqiyah is the 56th chapter of the Qur'an, consisting of 96 verses. It was revealed in Makkah and is classified as a Makki surah due to its powerful descriptions of the Day of Resurrection. Its name, Al-Waqiyah, translates to the inevitable event, referring to the certainty of the hereafter. Unlike many other surahs that alternate between law, guidance, and storytelling, Surah Al-Waqiyah maintains a consistent tone, firm, direct, and awakening. It vividly portrays three categories of people on the Day of Judgment: the foremost believers, the people of the right, and the people of the left. Each group is addressed with precision, reminding the reciter of their own spiritual standing. Beyond its striking imagery, the surah carries a rhythmic and captivating style that leaves a deep emotional impact on the listener. It is neither too long nor too short, making it ideal for regular recitation. Its language is clear, yet profound, accessible to both scholars and everyday Muslims. Unlike complex legal chapters, Surah Al-Waqiyah speaks directly to the heart, reminding the soul of accountability and divine justice. It is this unique composition that makes it one of the most beloved chapters among Muslims worldwide. 2. Prophetic Hadith, authentic virtue. The special status of Surah Al-Waqiyah is further highlighted through narrations attributed to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One of the most well-known reports mentions that those who recite this surah regularly will not experience poverty. Although scholars differ on the strength of individual chains, the consistent presence of similar narrations across various compilations has led many early Muslims to adopt its recitation as a trusted practice. The companions of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, were known to teach it to their families, passing down the habit through generations as a source of stability and reassurance. Some scholars explain that this promise of protection extends beyond material wealth. They interpret poverty in a broader sense, not just a lack of money, but a lack of contentment, peace, or inner fulfillment. By engaging with this surah, a believer anchors their heart to divine provision rather than worldly means. Even those who may not find immediate financial change often testify to an increase in tranquility and certainty. This reflects the prophetic understanding that true wealth lies in the richness of the soul. Thus, reciting Surah Al-Waqiyah is seen not merely as a ritual, but as an expression of trust in Allah's generosity. 3. Spiritual and practical benefits. Surah Al-Waqiyah carries a distinctive ability to realign one's mindset toward abundance rather than scarcity. Regular engagement with its verses cultivates an inner awareness that sustenance is not confined to human effort alone. This realization frees the heart from excessive worry and replaces it with calm assurance. When a believer understands that provision flows ultimately from Allah, even simple earnings begin to feel amplified. This subtle shift in perspective itself becomes a form of spiritual wealth. On a practical level, many people who recite this surah consistently observe improvements in their financial discipline. It nurtures gratitude, which naturally reduces wastefulness and unnecessary spending. A grateful person values what they already have, and this attitude often results in resources lasting longer. Additionally, maintaining a nightly connection with the Qur'an promotes stability and order in one's lifestyle. A person who begins or ends their day with divine words is more likely to avoid impulsive decisions and harmful pursuits. Over time, this creates a foundation for long-term prosperity. Therefore, the benefits of this surah are not limited to mystical expectations. They manifest in practical changes of behavior, mindset, and choices that ultimately contribute to a more fulfilling and abundant life. 4. Recommended time and habit. The beauty of Surah Al-Waqiyah is that it doesn't require long hours of recitation or deep scholarly knowledge to benefit from it. Its ideal placement within a daily routine is during the night, specifically after the Isha prayer or before going to sleep. This timing is recommended because the heart is calmer and distractions are fewer, allowing for a more focused connection with the Qur'an. Unlike morning recitations, which may be rushed due to daily responsibilities, nighttime recitation carries a sense of stillness and intimacy. For those new to this practice, starting with a digital copy on the phone can make the process effortless. Gradually, as familiarity grows, many find themselves reciting it from memory without realizing how naturally it has settled into their routine. The key is consistency rather than speed. Even if one begins by reciting a few verses each night and completes it over several days, the habit eventually becomes second nature. This quiet, nightly engagement serves as a moment of personal retreat, a pause from worldly noise. Over time, the body begins to associate the end of the day with spiritual closure, allowing sleep to come with greater peace and purpose. 5. Encouragement to recite with reflection. While reciting Surah Al-Waqiyah carries immense benefit on its own, its impact deepens significantly when approached with reflection. Rather than treating it as a mere routine, one should try to absorb the meaning behind its verses. The surah vividly portrays scenes of accountability, reward, and justice, reminders that life is temporary and true success lies beyond this world. When these verses are recited with awareness, the heart naturally softens and the ego humbles itself. Understanding even a few key translations can transform the experience. For example, when one reads about the people of the right and left, it becomes an opportunity for self-evaluation rather than casual reading. The listener begins to ask, which path am I on? What choices am I making? This inward questioning is what turns recitation into transformation. Reflection also strengthens sincerity. Instead of seeking reward mechanically, one begins to speak to Allah through His words. Even if full comprehension of Arabic is lacking, simple pauses, slower recitation, or imagining the scenes described can enhance focus. Over time, the surah stops being just spoken. It begins to reshape one's character and worldview. 6. Suggested practice. Incorporating Surah Al-Waqiyah into one's life does not require drastic change. It simply requires intention and small, steady steps. For those unfamiliar with the surah, the first approach can be listening to a recitation while following along with the text. This strengthens pronunciation and builds familiarity with its rhythm. Many find that using headphones or listening in a quiet space helps create a personal bond with the words even before full memorization begins. Once comfortable, a person may choose to divide the surah into smaller portions, reciting a section each night until the entire chapter feels natural on the tongue. Memorization often happens unintentionally through frequent exposure. Writing verses down or reciting them during breaks in the day can further reinforce retention. Some people form small family or friends circles where each person recites a part aloud. This keeps the practice consistent and spiritually uplifting. To stay motivated, it helps to attach the recitation to an existing routine, such as after brushing teeth or right before lying down. That way, it becomes anchored in habit rather than dependent on mood. Over time, reciting Surah Al-Waqiyah shifts from being an effort to becoming a beloved nightly companion, one that strengthens both discipline and connection to Allah's words. And that brings us to a beautiful reminder: Allah never forgets those who remember Him. If you wish to live with constant barakah in your life, let Surah Al-Waqiyah become your nightly companion. Before you scroll away, support this effort by liking, sharing, and subscribing to Intellect Deen so we can spread more beneficial knowledge together. Before you go, type this powerful dua in the comments. May Allah make me among the people of abundance and gratitude. Ameen. And may Allah open endless doors of rizq for you and your family.